Now I'm going to show you what I'm currently working on. And I'm still, as you can see, I still have a lot of product left with. So I've decided to do a mini. And I have taken pictures as I was constructing. My camera wasn't charged, so I went ahead and created this little journal. So I just want to show you that these are also printables that you get with this kit. So in addition to what you see behind me, isn't that gorgeous? So what I did was I created a mini and I made signatures. So there's actually paper to write on in between these in between these sections. And I made 5 sections in the book. And you know how to cut paper. I cut the paper just a little bit smaller so that it doesn't stick out once it's bound. It won't stick out beyond the edge of that little section. Okay, so that's just the basic inside of the book. I Coptic stitched the binding and there. And I'll include a link down below that will teach you how to do that. It would take at least one tutorial to teach you this. I've learned it from a very, very good friend that I have who is, she lives in St. Louis and I love her dearly and she's so helpful and patient. Lori, thank you, thank you. You are a darling. She has so much patience with me. So anyways, I stitched it. And so you can see where each page is stitched in. I love doing Coptic stitch. I'm a librarian. And I've had every different kind of book and binding go across my desk, and honest to goodness, I love this one. It's delicious to me. So, moving on, now that I've waxed and waned about how I love Coptic stitch, I found this. It's corrugated, but it's cardstock. And it just spoke to me. I love it. I love the texture. So I was going to use the red, but I found it was a bit strong against these printables of Daisy. They are so beautiful. I wanted to showcase them on this little book. So what I did was I cut medium weight chipboard and adhered the waffle cardstock to the chipboard. And then I adhered a piece of complementary cardstock on the inside cover. So now it's quite a sturdy cover. And I did start out leaving it red. I tried inking it with Ranger black soot around the edges. And I love the result, but again, it was still too harsh for Daisy's designs. So so far now I've just gessoed. So what I'm going to do is going to pink it up a little bit. This Wild Rose matches the cardstock. Okay, so really quite simply just squeeze out some paint onto your craft mat. And I think I'm going to squeeze out some of this Wild Rose as well, a little bit. And I'm just going to start in and just give it a kind of I wouldn't normally paint this after I have it bound, but I really thought I was going with the red and a little inking, and well, you know how that goes. So I want to get rid of that garish, bright, sort of stark white that you get from gesso. And gesso's really meant to be a base anyways, but sometimes it works. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? I love this color. It is so gorgeous. Muslin, it's called. Very, very sweet. But I'm seeing that it's a bit, I don't know, too soft, so it's a good thing I squeezed out some of that Wild Rose because I'm going to use some now. And just brush a little bit on here and there, mix it up a little bit. What I'm doing is actually have Tsunami Rose's designs here all around me, so I'm using them as a jumping off point for color, and it's a color challenge kind of thing that I'm working on. So I guess for me the challenge is to make the cover work with and not against in this case, because Daisy's printables are so gorgeous. They're just, oh, you simply have to go to her Zibbet store and have a look at what she's got available. I mean, the prices are to die for. You can't get this stuff anywhere. It's just Zibbet And so gorgeous. Okay, so be sure and check those links out, and maybe even go to my blog and see what I've done and what my design team is working on. See all the possibilities and then some. Okay, I'm back. This printable is just spot on for romance and Parisian romance, and that's actually Parisian Daydream is the name of the collection. Oh, gorgeous. I think Daisy's outdone herself on this one. She designs these printables, and isn't that beautiful? There we go. That took all of about 1 minute with my heat gun. Of course, you don't just have to use the printables just as you see them. You can change them, as I did for this, you know, cut out just part of the larger image. So I punched out some hearts just from one of the printables, and then I inked the edges with black soot. This was another one of the printables with some sheet music on it, and it's a French song. Against the cover I would have some contrast. I just curled these back, so I'm just going to cut some off. Oh, ruthless. Isn't that ruthless? Oof, terrible. Because I just don't, I want some so now I'm just going to distress this again. So I'm just going to paint it. Just going to paint it, paint the edges. I just mixed some of the muslin together with the wild rose. You know, I live in Alberta, Canada, and the wild rose is our provincial flower. And you know, I absolutely love the flower. It is just a little wild. It's not a tame looking rose by any stretch. It's actually much like this, which is odd, but that is a wild rose right there. I'll just tell you a little story. Bought a house. I used to move a lot. My husband was a banker. My ex-husband was a banker, and he got transferred a lot. And we moved into a little house in a small community, and there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And so I gave myself a goal and a reward. I said, or a target, if you will. That's a goal, isn't it? I said to myself, when you're finished with all of the renovations and the pulling up of carpet and the refinishing of hardwood floors and on, when it's all done, I give you permission to paint the surface of your solid wood, alder wood,